future. Curtain lights, this is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
And a good Wednesday evening. Wow, it's been a long time. We are here. It's Real Town Radio. It's Real Town with John and Tracy. Yeah, I'm John.
I'm Tracy.
And over there is our good friend Carl.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff here. It's a brand new program. It's a brand new thing. It's a brand new day. We were involved here at the old House of Hits here at hamiltonradio.net not too long ago. And, well, you know, we were part of a cast of a different show, and the folks over here decided to invite us back. What do you think, Trace?
I'm thrilled to pieces. And I love, let me shout out to Lynn and Tim and Craig, Carl.
Kurt. Yes,
long day.
We were part of the 5-person team, the old Robbinsville train wreck show that was a 7 to 8 o'clock joint. Up through, I guess, what about November last year?
Yeah, it was Christmas.
And, you know, and one of those things, you know, people got busy. The thing ran its course, and that's okay. We had a ball. And Kurt Zimmerman was always great enough to have us in.
Take 5.
Take 5. They do the comedy shows over here in Hamilton. And Tim Eli was always right on the edge, man. Funny guy. And
the Eggman.
And Lynn Almonds.
Florida. Florida.
Yeah, she had all that going on with her wacky news. Ooh, the news of the weird at the end of the Robbinsville train wreck. So thanks to them for teeing us up. Without them, we wouldn't be here, but that was then. This is now. Welcome to Real Town. And what's Real Town, you might ask?
What is Real Town, John?
I'm glad you asked. It's a little bit of everything. I mean, it's about entertainment. It's about sports happenings. It's about life in general, music. Basically, whatever's going on. What's going on? You know,
what's going on?
Exactly, Marvin Gaye. Who knows? We might even get on Marvin Gaye one time.
Listen, all I know is this. I got a lot to say. An hour's not enough. I could be here all night long. And it'll never end. But what I do encourage is we need the phone. Oh, the phone number. There's the phone number.
Yeah.
What's the phone number, John?
609-807-2492.
I want people to call in. Please call in. Ask questions. Give us comments. What do you think? We like to have interaction with the listeners, so please call in. We're
gonna have guests. We're gonna have real guests like our good friend Carl here. He's Carl Schaff. He's basically this cat Schaff is a bad mother. You know, shut your mouth. I know, but he's sports, whether it's one thing or another, baseball, football, college football especially, and the sport of kings. We're coming up on the Belmont, the third leg of the Triple Crown. Carl, tell us about all you've done in the world of the equestrians.
Where's my theme song for? I had
Triple Crown, an exciting weekend this weekend. Belmont Stakes, Justify going for the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Going to have 100,000 people at Belmont this weekend.
Just a few.
Oh, just a few, you know. Great race, intriguing race. Horse just won the Preakness, barely, took a lot out of him.
Right.
Looking forward to it. I have a couple sleeper picks that I'd like to share with you guys.
Right.
But,
well, tell me, I want to hear a little bit about Justify, because I know Justify is the favorite. He is going for the Triple Crown. Great horse. Right. But I remember you talking about, I have a phone call. Oh. Yeah, let's take it. Our first phone call. How can we deny?
Right. Hi, you're on Real Time with John and Tracy. What's up?
Mr. John Thielen.
In the flesh. Who's this?
Mr. Real Town himself. You do not remember my voice?
You know, if I'd have known I was going to live this long.
From Florida?
No, it's not. If I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken much better care of myself. Talk to me, baby. Tell me something.
It's Coach.
Coach Evans, what is up? There he is. This is my football coach from the Wilkes-Barre Blaze back in 17, 18 years ago.
Back in the day.
When I was playing.
Back in the day.
Yeah, and then Coach Evans, we got back together after a bunch of years apart. And we did some great things back. Speaking of sports, back out in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, with the Susquehanna Valley Stallions 8-man football club. Man, we had some fun. We had some fun. And what's going on?
Yes, we did.
Coach, how you feeling? What's the latest? Talk to me, baby. Tell me
The
something.
latest is I'm very happy that you and Tracy have something going on there with this new thing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we're lucky. We're privileged. You know, we got hooked in with Gene here at the hamiltonradio.net about a year and a half ago. And you know, it's one of those things to where, well, you know, Coach, I'm always like
I know that.
thing.
I can't curse online, but I'll tell you what.
Well, you can. It's out bleeping standing, isn't it?
Keep it clean.
Yes, it is.
Wow, I'm so glad you called in, Coach. I mean, what's new in your world? Tell me. You know, are you?
Nothing. I retired 3 times.
Well,
for coaching.
I understand. And how you been feeling? You getting around? You getting around okay? I mean, I know that the back was a problem.
Yeah, I'm. You know, as you know, inoperable. But I go see this specialist in New York at the Hospital for Special Surgery.
Nice.
In New York City, and pain management there takes care of me very well. They're burning my nerves and the whole 9 yards.
Outstanding.
But anyway.
Outstanding. I'm so glad you're listening. I mean, spread the word. This is literally the first, 8 minutes of the program's existence. And, you know, if there's any.
I'm privileged. I'm honored.
Please, it's us who are privileged and honored. I mean, spread the word. We're gonna keep buffing and polishing this thing as time unfolds.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be sent. I'm spreading the word. Don't worry about it. I got back involved with the GFA.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Matter of fact, I dipped my toe back in that pool. The GEFA, by the way, is the Great Eastern Football Association. We started that up about back in 05 as the 6-man league, and we morphed it into 8-man, and yeah, it's given. Here's the good thing. Speaking of sports, Carl, you'll appreciate this. I'm thinking it gives a lot of fellows who had no idea that such a football opportunity existed, the chance to get back on the field, whether they're in their late teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, and even I ended 50s. up. I played till I was darn near 50. The last time I suited up, wow. I was 47 years old. You know, and guys who want to play, want to be involved, have some gas in the tank, and never knew such a thing existed. And we had, and they still do. They're having some kind of time over there, the Great Eastern Football Association.
That's fantastic. It's like Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, right.
His Energizer Bunny just keeps going, right?
Exactly right. What's he like, 77 now or something?
Hey, that's it. You know, hey, he keeps playing well, pitching well, right?
Satchel Paige.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, this is good,
there
Coach.
You go.
Coach, we're gonna do our thing here. Keep on doing it.
Keep listening.
It's so great
listen. I wanted to say one thing.
Please do.
I wanted to thank you.
Oh, sure.
For getting me, pulling me out of retirement and bringing me into the GFA early. And then I returned back in 2010 and had that undefeated championship season with the Mayhem.
Great team, back mountain.
And now got pulled back in last year and this year with the Shock and the Maniacs.
Outstanding.
But because of you and because of the teams and the coaching staffs, I was inducted into my 5th Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
GFA
Nice.
Hall of Fame.
Outstanding, Coach. Outstanding. Coach Martin J. Evans, and I got to tell you, you know, that's I'm thinking to myself, what? Only 5? That's it? I mean,
that's it.
Do they not know who this guy is? What he's done? Oh my goodness! Yeah, great stuff. Outstanding.
No, I'll stay in touch with y'all, and I'll give you a holler back. But
definitely.
I wish you all the best of luck.
Oh, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate it. Yeah, keep on and check it out. We're gonna have the Real Town with John and Tracy page up on Facebook here very, very shortly. This whole thing's gonna unfold from week to week to week, so it'll be a fun journey. Thanks, Coach.
Well, if you get anything coming up for coaches or you want to talk about anything like that, just let me know and hook me up.
You know what? I know where to get you. I mean, we're coming up on it's next month. You know, it's training camps, it's football. It's going to be front and center. So the answer is yes. Let's discuss. Let's discuss. No doubt. Yeah.
All right, y'all take care.
You too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, much love, John.
Love you too, Coach. You know that, no doubt.
All right.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Nice
Outstanding.
first call,
I
buddy.
tell you what, just
I'm impressed. Where's my peeps at? I want to call like that. Tell
oh
me.
man, football time, horse racing time.
All right. Well, you know what I forgot? This is what I forgot. Very
Oh,
important.
Go.
The movie. The movie.
This is Chef.
Who is the man who knows the sports like no one can?
Chef.
Can you dig it?
Nice, very nice. Love the introduction. A lot of pressure.
Nah, no pressure. Just you know what you've got the knowledge juice about all this. So now,
Justify. Back to Justify.
He won the Derby, the Kentucky Derby. He just eked out the Preakness, very wet, sloppy track, and it's supposed to probably be sloppy this weekend. They're saying.
Agreed. Big Sandy, when it's sloppy, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a grueling race. You know, I think this last race took a lot out of him. He's a speed type horse. He's going to be the controlling speed in the race. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for him. I don't think he's going to get the job done.
Oh.
I'm picking against him, but I am rooting for him. I am a horse racing fan, so as a fan, I want to see the Triple Crown be hit again.
Yeah.
American Pharoah last year.
Right.
But I know it's tough to do.
Not last year.
What?
Not last year.
2 years ago. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Thanks. Wow. Wow. Look at that. 2 years ago.
I remember watching Secretariat do it when I was a little boy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the horse of all time. Greatest horse of all time.
Well, he had an enlarged heart.
Yes, he did.
That's why they say that he was able to run as fast as he did, and the distance that he did was because his heart was enlarged, which is pretty amazing, don't you think?
It is amazing.
I would say.
They did a movie about him. Walt Disney did.
Yeah, he did.
It was very good, starring Diane Lane. Go ahead.
Oh, look at that education. Look, I'm impressed, Tracy.
See,
I'm impressed.
it's all real. You're going to learn it all on Real Town.
Well, going back to the Belmont Stakes, there's two horses I'm really gearing my sights on in this race. And the first one is Hofsburg, lately raced horse. In the Florida Derby, he got second in the Florida Derby behind Audible, who ran a credible third in the Kentucky Derby. So I think this horse is coming into the race in good shape. The fact that his trainer, who is usually conservative about talking about his horse, is giving this horse the thumbs up, saying he's never trained better into this race, is a key factor for me. So a conservative trainer who is high on his horse and talking up his horse coming into a race like this is always a plus.
Speaks
so that's
volumes.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
The second horse I'm gearing in on is Vino Rosso. He's another horse that can get the distance. He's bred for the distance. He, too, the longer they go, the better off he's going to be. The slop doesn't affect him at all. So those are the two that I think if there's going to be an upset, well, it's going to be one of those two, if they can be Justified. But, again, Justified is going to be a tough customer because he's going to be the controlling speed in the race.
Right.
He's training well also. I just think that the 3 races in the 5-week period are going to take its toll on a 2-year-old. He hasn't raced since his 2-year-old season, so a 2-year-old season. So that's always tough to do. So I'm going to be gearing on a Hofsburg and Vino Rosso in these 2 races.
Now, how long is the Belmont, the distance in that?
The distance in the Belmont is 1.5 miles.
Mile and a half.
That's a longer race than both the Derby and the Preakness.
Well, the
correct?
Preakness is short compared to the other two. The Preakness is shorter than Kentucky.
It's
also.
shorter than the Kentucky Derby.
It's shorter than Kentucky as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the sloppy track is the factor. You know, you would like to see these big races on a fast track so you can get the true assessment on who's the best.
Sure.
Unfortunately, Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So we know Justify can handle the slop. He won both in Kentucky and in Pimlico in the slop. But this is where you have to look at the breeding aspect of it. And both Hofsburg and Vino Rosso are bred for the slop, and they should had good accounts of themselves in this race. They should have good accounts. So.
Well, we'll be
That's good to
watching.
know.
I got to tell you, it's always fun to watch, especially the 3 races, Triple Crown or not. And I am way overdue to get down to the track. I haven't ever been to Monmouth Park. When I was a little guy, we were on vacation. I was probably 12. We went up to Saratoga in August. Beautiful. I mean,
Saratoga's
I was old enough to absorb it all, young enough to not quite get it all, But I remember just being really, really nice in Saratoga. Haven't been to the horse races in years. I had an uncle who used to go to Pocono Downs, where the Trotters and the Pacers,
Yep.
and Uncle Drew used to like to go there when maybe he should have been doing something else. You know what I'm saying?
Betting all his money.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Hello, office. Yeah. Drew, please. I'm sorry, he called off sick. What? Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
So
what are you gonna do?
that's your picks
Yep.
for
Hofsburg and
Vino Rosso.
Vino Rosso. Now, are you going to do a trifecta with Justify?
I think you have to use Justify in the number because he's going to be the controlling speed in the race. And if he does falter and it's going to be in the last furlong, I think, which could get him. I think it's going to be a closer that's going to get him, and it's one of those two. So I will be using Justify in the number, but I have a feeling that one of those two are going to get the job done.
Place your bets, people.
So basically, when the announcer says, and down the stretch they come, that's where it's going to be told.
Yes, Justify is going to have the lead top of the stretch, no doubt about it.
Got it.
Whether or not he lasts or not is going to be the question.
Now, if anybody out there wins based on what Carl says, we expect some dividends this way. So just saying.
That number, once
Just
again,
saying.
609-807-2492.
A couple bucks, that's all.
Get your Zelle app on your smartphone ready. We'll gladly accept the transfer.
Well, usually we would probably keep Carl here for a while, talk about baseball, football, basketball, soccer, all kinds of things. But I know you have a charity game, right?
I have a soccer game tonight, and then it's coaches versus the kids on my soccer team. And then this weekend, there is a Kicking for Cancer soccer tournament in Hamilton.
Ooh.
The
Nice.
proceeds will go for cancer research. So, if you're interested,
Where's that going to be?
I was just
it's
gonna
going to be
say.
at Hamilton at Veterans Park.
Veterans Park. Everybody, Veterans Park. You got to give some money to cancer. Cancer sucks.
What time of day is that going to be held?
Starts early in the morning. The first game's at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay. That's early in the morning. That's like 6:30 to me. So
And
9
it'll go-
o'clock. Yeah.
And it'll go till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So there's ample time to catch a lot of action and
Rabble.
see what's going on.
Exactly. It's for a good
Nice.
cause. So,
Absolutely.
visit the Hamilton Soccer website and for details on that. So,
And what's the site?
HamiltonSoccer.com.
Nice.
Easy enough. There you go.
Thanks, Carl.
Big
We're
doings
big
in
hand
Hamilton and Jay,
For Carl, our sports
guys.
fanatic, sports expert.
our pony prognosticator.
Thanks, guys. It was a pleasure being
We'll
on the
see you
show.
soon.
You guys are great. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Love you too, pal. No doubt,
Thanks.
no doubt. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll see you in the morning.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
So
so let's get down to business,
What
shall
else
we?
is what else is in the news? I mean, what else is going on? I mean, there's so much to pick from.
Listen, I was making notes all day.
Tracy,
I
where do we
can't even.
start?
I can't stand it.
Where do we
I
start?
can't even. I can't breathe. I got so much to talk about. There is so much going on in the world of news and entertainment that I can't. I'm losing my shit. I am losing it. Right now.
Well, what
Excuse my
about
language,
what
but-
about
Okay.
the Eagles not going to the White House?
Okay.
And being you
Let
ready?
me breathe for a second.
Okay.
This is my issue.
Okay.
First of all, I have no love for the Eagles.
I
Sorry
understand.
to my Philly listeners. I'm so sorry. But, I am originally from Boston. I am a Patriots girl, and you know what? I'm happy. I was happy for the Eagles. Believe it or not, I wasn't mad because, they needed a ring. We have 5. They needed 1. So, we spread the wealth. So I'm all right with that. But here's my issue,
Go ahead.
and I get what Trump is doing. I get it. But this is the problem. And first of all, you're pissing off Philadelphia. Pennsylvania actually voted for Trump, which a lot of people didn't think that they would. They actually
True.
thought they would go the other way. So people were surprised by that. But don't piss off Philadelphia because God knows. I mean, there's a reason they have little jails at the stadiums. You know what I mean? Like they climb poles, they punch horses. They don't F around.
They're very passionate.
Don't piss off Philly. So now their beloved Eagles that they're so passionate about, you're saying, you know what? We don't want them there. And if you actually researched it, it was only one player who went down on one knee, and that one player was actually suspended. So he is holding an entire team accountable for one player who went down on one knee, right? And I get his point. However, you made a whole team pay for the actions of one player, and now you pissed off people in Philly. Like, they're crazy.
I literally, just before we left to come here, looked up an article, matter of fact, on MSN.com, and that's a piece of it. What I'm finding out, and who knows? I mean, there always is the yin to the yang, the
Yep.
black to the white,
Right.
the left to the right,
Right.
the day to the night. there were 81 members of the Eagles staff who were signed up as of May 31st to come to Washington to the White House. And all of a sudden, there weren't. There was a bunch of guys decided for whatever reason that they weren't going to come, and they wanted to then retweak when they were going to come, and they wanted to come another day, and the president was out of town that day doing something else, and it just was one big cluster, just one big bad, kind of a turn of events. Now, if I were Pope of this place, so to speak, here's what I might have done. What do you think about something like this?
Go ahead.
Okay, if all those guys, except for like 10 or 12 of them, decided, nope, I'm not coming. Okay, I'm gonna have the 10 or 12 guys.
Sure.
Period.
Why not?
Come on down. Come on in.
That's the point.
And I'm gonna make a fuss over these 10 or 12 guys, like they just absolutely won, like the biggest thing of all time, which they did. Okay, but I'm going to fawn over them. I'm going to make a big deal. And then these other caffones who didn't show up for whatever reason, they're going to sit there all,
the thing is, it's not mandatory to go to the White House. I mean, if you remember correctly, and I remember this, when the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I got to plug Boston again. But if you remember the goalie actually, and what's his name, Thomas, he didn't show up to see Obama. He was not a supporter of Obama, so he didn't go.
Okay.
And everyone else went. Okay, no problem. You didn't go. That's okay. So obviously, you have your opinions, you have your beliefs, and that's fine. You don't want to go to the White House? Don't go to the White House.
And there you have it.
But here's the issue: is that you can't punish the other members, because I'm sure there are people on that team, there are players on that team that do support him.
Oh yeah.
So sorry to you guys who support me, because I'm going to screw you too. That's not right, and exactly what you said.
It was a
you
want
to go?
Mishandled
go.
thing, I think.
Well, it's mishandled.
I
it
really
is.
do.
The guys, the ones who kneeled, or the ones who are against going, stay home. I'm fine with it. But you 10 players who are supporting me and want to be there,
I'm making
come
a
on
big deal
down.
out of them.
Come
I'm
on.
making a huge deal out of these guys because they were part of a group that did an amazing thing for the first time ever. I mean,
and it's a tradition.
Of course.
They go to the White
Of
House when you win the
course.
Super Bowl, you win the Stanley Cup. You go to the White House. Now,
Here's the guy who I like the most. That put this all in perspective, at least to me. Okay, and it's Doug Peterson, the head coach. Here's a guy, not to sound like John Madden. Here's a guy who, boom. Here's a guy who, all he has done has taken the criticism of, he's just a dopey, backup quarterback, who's now a head coach. He's not going to do anything. Well, he got him really good year before last. He got him to the pinnacle this past year. And you know what he said? Basically, I'm paraphrasing, and he was in front of a press conference, and he said to all these guys in the press, you know what? It happened. It went down the way it did. And you know what? We're moving on. Next. I mean, he pulled basically a Bill Belichick.
Right.
Well, what about this? We're moving on. We're moving on to week 1, is basically what he said. We're moving on to training camp. We're in mini camps right now. We're moving on. I'm not discussing it because you know what? It's done. It's over. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Quit banging the drum on something doesn't need to be banged about, to me. And good for him. I mean, it's done. You got both sides have all their stuff out there, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's over.
It is over.
It's a shame.
Because nobody's there. And then I guess in its place, he had a national, what did he have? He had
Like
some
an American pride celebration.
And
the military band and the military chorus, and they all held hands, sang the song, and all
exhausting. It's exhausting. I can't. I'm exhausted by it. Just like, whatever. It's just
how
so
I lean,
much.
Tracy.
It's just another reason for people to be pissed off.
Oh, please don't.
That's it.
There's enough. Don't manufacture more. Have the guys.
Get it.
in.
Go hang out with Kim and hang out with Rush and Putin. Go hang. Because I can't. My heart hurts.
I agree.
As a matter of fact, I'd like to segue out of that.
Please, what you got?
Let's talk about Roseanne and Samantha Bee.
Oh, smokes. Here we go. Yes.
I got feelings.
Is
I
that
got
right?
lots of feelings.
I'll be
So
darned.
you know know me. I mean, the one thing everyone's going to learn, from the show is that, I am a democratic person. I'm very laid back, but I am not one of those crazy, like, I hate Trump. I'm not that person. I'm open to everything. I like to see what everybody has to offer. If Trump could do something great for this country, that's wonderful. If he can't, well, that's bad. It applies to everybody.
Well, here's the thing. If he can't, guess what? In 2.5 years, out he goes.
No, I mean,
Simple as
it
that.
is what it is, But here's my issue.
Go ahead.
Let's just segue back. So, what Roseanne said, obviously, I don't have to rehash. I'm sure everyone read the article.
Of
You know
course.
what she said. I mean, it was a racist comment. And I think I told you this. I flashed back to, again, referring to Boston, but there is a, Red Sox radio station out in Boston, WEEI, and they had a one of the jocks, the morning jocks. He was very, very, very popular. And he commented there used to be a bus stop right in front of the station, and it was kids who were, didn't go to the best schools and so on, and they were most of them were of African American descent, and they were standing at the bus stop, and he went on air and said it looked like a bunch of gorillas at the bus stop.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he was fired immediately. He was fired immediately. He was gone, and he'd been at the station. A Red Sox station for years, but I mean, it's intolerable. You can't say stuff like that. And you know what?
Cool.
Listen, you want to be a racist, you have your opinions, whatever. Talk to it with your husband or wife at home. Talk at the kitchen table with your whatever. Don't go into a public forum,
Right.
because this is social media. Hello, 2018. Everybody's going to see it, and you idiot, Roseanne's dumb because you were just handed a new show, a whole bunch of money.
Yep.
Your show's doing well. The show's going to be picked up again for another season.
The only show that did any better than that show was The Big Bang Theory, and that's the only one.
And that's it. Here you go. Here's a show, Roseanne. You weren't doing much. You were a judge on Last Comic Standing.
Yep.
Whoopity-doo. What the hell did you do? And most of them, other than Laurie Metcalf, because she had that film, she got nominated for an Oscar. She was doing all right. John
Right.
Goodman.
Right.
Goodman, he had some good stuff
He's
going
busy.
on.
He's busy. He's fine.
But those kids?
Nope.
What the hell were they doing? Nothing.
Michael Fishman and Lacey
Becky.
Garanson.
I don't know what the heck.
Lacey Garanson.
What the hell were they doing? Nothing.
They were at home,
At
sitting
home.
on their sofa,
They were doing nothing.
looking for work.
So here you go. Hey, you don't have a job. I'm about to give you this show back, the show that made you all that money, and I'll make you more money. All right, Mom, I'm going back to work. Woo! Then Roseanne says a stupid thing, and those kids are back to the couch.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Way to go, dummy.
that's
Just
the thing,
dumb.
And I mentioned to you, I think the other day, the fellow who was on the air in Washington for a long time, Doug Tracht is his name, goes by the Grease Man. And he was down there in D.C. for long years. In 1986, when the Martin Luther King holiday first came around. Now think of the times. 1986, 32 years ago. He made some offhand remark about, what if they'd have shot 4 more, we get the whole week off. Come on, I meant nothing by it. Well, in 86, he got a little 1-week vacation without pay.
See, that would be firing today.
Well, let's fast forward to 1999.
Right.
There was that incident in Texas where those knuckleheads with the pickup truck decided to take a black gentleman and beat him up and then tie him on the back of the truck and then drag him. Why would you do that, first of all, number one? Number two,
Nuts.
Tract gets on the air again as the Grease Man and has some derogatory remark about it. Now, in 99, 13 years later, he was invited to no longer participate on DC 101. He was out. Boom. And that began the demise of his career. That was pretty much the beginning of the downturn. I mean, he's still doing things on different forums, but he's not what he was. Very creative, and two little blip again. Oh, I meant nothing by it, whether he did or not. And he went to
It's a public forum.
It's true, and he went to
Talk about it in your living room.
I agree.
What the hell?
He went to
It's all
psychiatric
deliberate.
therapy, and it was determined after a year of therapy that he really did mean nothing by it. He was just he was in his character doing his thing, and he should not have done
But
that.
you're on the air, and you're reaching a certain amount of people.
That's
when you're
correct.
on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. The
Here,
social media, whatever the
hamiltonradio.net
platform-
matters not. I mean, yes,
whatever the platform is.
there's
you
all kinds
know
of
you're people are going to hear it.
Correct.
Period.
There's all kinds of elbow room to do stuff here that we can't do on the regular terrestrial radio, but you know what? There is still
It's
a
deliberate.
line.
It's deliberate.
Leave people alone. Be cool. Be not here. Like I tell my son, I think I've told you this one too. Be good. Be nice. Behave. Be kind. Be respectful. You know, be a friend, but don't take any undue crap. But be a friend. Do the right thing. You know, be your best.
If you want to be a douche, be a douche behind closed doors.
Do it when the microphone's off, or
Be
when
a
you're
douche in your own house.
In your own house with your own people.
I don't need a douche. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I do love the word douche, though. I use it frequently. That is a great word.
That's a good one for you.
But so, and now I'm going to talk about Samantha Bee.
Yeah. Oh.
Now,
yeah.
Here's my thing with Samantha Bee. First of all, even though Ivanka is, a grown woman, it is the child of a president.
Well, hello.
I don't like when anybody says anything about the child of whether she's a woman or not. She is still the offspring of a president.
Of course.
So I think that's off. You don't talk about it. I don't think so.
Off limits. Be cool.
Correct. So in that respect, I'm going to say she was wrong. But I'm not against the word "see you next Tuesday." In general, I don't mean like for her. I mean in general. I'm not a big because people take that word and they put such ugliness on it. And there's this whole stigma. And I think it's this country. I don't think, because if you go to Europe, they say that word all the time.
Offhand.
All the time. Yeah. It is like, oh, that dirty. Yeah, she's such a, and everybody laughs. There's not such a derogatory stigma to it. Here you say that word, it's like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Like
you can say bitch and it's okay.
Like you just wiped dog crap on your living room curtains,
right.
It's like.
That word carries so much weight.
It does.
And I think if she said bitch, would there have been such a backlash? I don't think so. That word carries way too much weight. Do I think she was? I don't condone what she did. I think that was wrong. Let me just say that.
Right.
However, I think the weight of what she said is because of that word.
The context and the weight.
That word.
The emphasis on the syllables.
She could. What was the other word she said? Flecking? Fledgling?
Feckless.
Feckless.
C-U-N.
Which, you know what? That's a great. I never used that word before, and I'm pretty good with the vocabulary situation. But feckless, woo!
And we batted this around the other day about vocab. Gene, what do you think? And here, and I told Tracy this the other day. When I was in high school, and this would have been late 70s, maybe very early 80s at most. Okay, you know how the local police will come in and basically take the scared straight routine and shrink it in the dryer and not have it be as prison-y, so to speak, because we had those guys in too. Sidebar: about 2 years before that, we had a guy from Rahway State Prison. His name was Robert. Oh my God, his biceps were as big as my thighs. Come in and talk to us. The Scared Straight program, and here we are at the dopey Wardlaw Hartridge School in Edison with our little jackets and blazers and ties. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, this cop comes in, and he's talking to a group of us, I think, who are about to achieve a certain age, like 16 or 17, going to drive, going to this, going to that, whatever. And he said, and he's in front of all of us and all the teachers. And a couple of the teachers were like my mom's and dad's age, and they were like them, with the hair and the, oh my goodness, everything is lovely. He says, okay, I'm going to say some words. And you let me know what you think, Okay.
No.
And he's like, marijuana, heroin, sex, LSD,
what?
angel dust. That's what it was.
Teacher?
This is a cop, the local Edison police.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
PCP, angel dust. Then he goes, pardon me here, and he goes, fuck, and all the teachers went, especially the older ones, and he's like, what's the problem? It's just a word. Matter of fact, it's a word that if you do it right is really kind of good and, can denote some form of affection, if not more. And that always kind of stuck with me because it's just a word on one hand. But on the other hand, it's a word, okay? Same thing with the see you next Tuesday word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a word.
It's a word. Come on, relax. But you're exactly right, Tracy. The context, the emphasis, the whole deal was it necessary?
Now, here's the debate.
Go ahead.
Which was worse? What Roseanne said or what Samantha Bee said?
I don't know about worse. I think they were both differently not necessary.
Definitely not necessary. I mean,
You know what I mean?
again.
It just and if I had to, if gun to my head, I'm going to say Roseanne for the simple fact is that it impacted approximately 200 people who worked on and or with that show
I agree with you. I
on
agree
on
with you.
stage and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You got Samantha Bee just being a nut. Okay, just
Well, she tries to shock, and honestly I don't watch the show, but I know that her thing on that show is to shock and try to get people. So,
A, she's on cable. 2, it's late at night, so the restrictions are relaxed. So 3, she's thinking it's gonna woo,
like
no.
oh,
Well,
you're so funny.
and it was awkward. I mean, if you listen to the audience response, there were some who were left, but you can
was a
tell,
little awkward
You can tell
moment.
there's some awkwardness and the little undercurrent.
There was a
there.
pregnant pause.
I don't, I'm not saying I'm a fan. I don't know her well enough. I tried to watch the show when it first went on, and I really wasn't that overwhelmed
I just
with
don't
it.
care.
It's
don't
not at
care.
a time where I'm
Listen.
easily able to catch it. It's a show. It's a late night show, and anymore, this ain't like it's not like when it was just Carson. It used to be just Johnny Carson. That's it.
It's the mindset. Like, this is what I think about. When Samantha Bee said it, I think she said it because she thought it would be funny.
Right.
When Roseanne said it, I don't think Roseanne said she was high on like some drug.
Ambien.
On Ambien.
I'm gonna blame Ambien.
So this is what I say, and this is what I'm gonna say. Own up to it.
Yeah.
Just own up to it. Go, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. And I mean, just own up to it. Nothing
so
irritates me more than people who make mistakes like that and then go make an excuse and go, "Oh, I was high. Oh, I didn't mean it." You know what I mean? Say, listen, I did it. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. You could say that. Hey, I did it. It was spur of the moment. It might have been like a total screw up, but I did it. That's it.
Yeah.
But don't start blaming it.
No.
Don't do it.
If I had
you
a nickel for
weakling.
every time I raised my hand talking about, yep, I did that. I mean, I got, I can remember getting, same church, different pew, getting called into my boss's office out working in radio ad sales out in Williamsport, Pennsylvania about 5-6 years ago. And I made this whole deal with a client, and the rates for the radio station, this was a top rated radio station, granted market number 270, but it doesn't matter if it's number 1 New York City or number 270 Williamsport. I liked this guy. He was a business starting out. I wanted to help him, and I made a whole deal, man. I bent over and spread him wide on behalf of the radio station. Well, on behalf of it's rate-wise. So Dan calls me and he goes, "Hey, what's with these rates?" I'm like, "Well, you did this. Well, how come you did this?" And I started backpedaling like, "No, you know what, Dan? I did it because the guy's a local guy. He's just starting out. He's got this hydroponic growing business, and yeah, guilty as charged." And he was ready to light me up because that's what Dan would do, my boss, when I deserved it or when anybody deserved it. And then he just stopped short. He goes, "Okay, don't do that again. Bye."
Now that you said the word spreading,
Thank you.
let's talk about Harvey Weinstein pleading not guilty.
Now that was a segue.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
I don't know.
The hell? Who told him? Not guilty?
Who gave him that piece of advice?
All right, listen. He's as guilty comes. You can't get any more guilty than that guy. There's no way in hell
horrible.
that man. First of all, I love how people act like so surprised by things. Like I find it. Maybe I'm just like a negative, pessimistic, glasses half empty.
No.
person.
Wait a second. Stop a second. It's writing wall. It's real town. It's real. It's not negative.
It's not surprising. Bill Cosby didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me.
Even with the Jello pudding pop and the thing and the fabulous hanging on my face. You see,
didn't do it.
I did not do that.
She's a liar.
The woman is a crazy loon bag.
Like I didn't. You want some coffee?
I'm good.
So I mean, like honestly, I wasn't surprised. I just wasn't. See, this is the thing that this as a woman, I worked in the music business. I did some movies, did some things here and there. You're exposed to a lot of things, and you see a lot of things, and you hear a lot of stories. And I've heard things. I've had things done to me. I've had men hit my ass. I've had men preposition me. I've had men force themselves on me. It's happened. It's how you deal with it. It's how you, how you handle yourself. And I think nobody really understands unless you're in that situation. And you have to be, when someone with a lot of power and a lot of money is saying to you, listen, you will never work in this town again. You will never work in this town. And you believe it because it's pretty easy to believe because he was the most powerful man in Hollywood.
He was a big shot.
So here you are. I just gave up I just left Omaha, left my parents. I traveled in my beat up car to California because I wanted to be an actress. It's all I ever wanted to do my whole life. Since I was a little girl, that's all I wanted to do. I just did my first movie. My dream is coming true. And then I got this douchebag trying to have sex with me and saying, listen, you'll never work in this town again. And some women, and if you're one of these women, don't talk to me. You're an asshole. Because let me tell you something. Any woman who's like, well, I would have just said no. I would have said, get away from me. Don't touch me. Listen, it's not that easy.
It's easy on paper,
not
but you
that
know what?
easy.
I tell you what, same church, different pew. I mean, here I am, 35 years ago, earning fraternity at my college.
Fraternity.
Yes, and I had a ball. P.S.
I bet.
But I'm seeing some guys at the house, at the parties, on campus, elsewhere, doing that kind of thing.
Sure.
And
everybody saw that. I went to college. Listen, I had people have sex in the same room as where I was sleeping. I mean, like, it's
I know.
Stuff like this happens. The problem is when you're abusing your power.
Well, that's the thing.
In order to get sexual favors. I mean, it's illegal. It is illegal.
Trust me, I was no altar boy in college, but I mean, there was to me. There was a line.
And not for nothing.
There was a line.
And I'm going to steal this because this is definitely not my bit but it's such a good thing. But, Chris Rock says it, he was talking about a long time ago. It was an old routine stand-up that he did. And he was talking about Clarence Thomas. Remember Clarence Thomas is the Supreme Court.
Anita Hill.
And Anita Hill. And he was talking about it on stage. And I'll never forget it because it stuck with me. And he said, if Clarence Thomas looked like Denzel, that wouldn't be happening. He said, if he looked like Denzel, that wouldn't. He'd be dating. It would be dating. It wouldn't be harassment. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a horrible thing to say. I'm a woman. It's terrible. But when you really think about it, it's kind of true. I hate to say that because maybe I'll get hate mail for that. But honestly, Harvey Weinstein is disgusting. I mean, he's a disgusting. He looks like Jabba the Hutt. He is a putrid-looking human being.
It's like Pizza the Hut.
He's so scary. Now, if he looked like Brad Pitt or Channing Tatum,
Mel Gibson in his prime,
and I think about that, and it's no disrespect to the women. Like I just got to point that out. This is not, for me saying that the women aren't justified, but. This is how society works, when, if a really hot man, makes advances at me, I'm flattered. If a really nasty, disgusting man makes a pass at me, I'm disgusted. So but they're doing the exact same thing to me. So, that factors in. I mean, Bill Cosby is not a hot gentleman. Like, let's throw that out there too. He's not a good looking man. He ain't no Denzel, but it's just everything is relative. And like I said, by no means forcing yourself on someone is completely wrong.
No, don't do it. Again, be good, be nice, behave, do the right thing.
And I listen to that audio. Did you listen to that audio of Harvey Weinstein? He was trying to get this girl in the bathroom, and he's like, "Come on, get in the bathroom." She's like, "No, I don't want to." He's like, "Come on, get in the bathroom." No, I don't want to. It was disturbing, dude. I was like, I wanted to vomit in my mouth. It was disgusting.
I hear you.
Disgusting.
I hear you. Again, it's all those. And I'm picturing a few times when I stumbled in on things at college. Not necessarily at my house, but around guys doing that kind of garbage. Man, I'm like, oh,
not
what
guilty.
Are you doing? I'm like,
not
okay,
guilty.
I'm not guilty. Get the hell out of here.
I'm going to segue again.
Please.
I got so much to say.
What else do we have?
God damn, I got stuff to say.
You're like Robin Quivers, man. You've got all kinds of news.
I got so much to say. It's like the news, but it's not the news. But let's talk about Kate Spade.
That's
And
a,
I do
that's
have a Kate
shame.
Spade. I have 2 Kate Spades wallets. So Kate Spade wallets.
I do not.
You do
Just
not.
saying.
But it's pretty. You know what? And this is the thing. You know, I think about it is. I really do believe if someone has the balls to take their own life, because it takes balls. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. That takes balls.
I don't want to do it.
You make the decision to leave this planet and leave behind family, friends, children, whatever you do. I mean, that is, and even if it is, like I said, depression, mental illness, which is, it has to play a part of it. It still takes a certain degree of, not courage, because that's not the word I'm looking for, but I mean, it's just to be able to terminate your life.
Chutzpah.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
just
what I
think
mean?
about it. I mean, and if
Kind
you're,
of some
if you're the-
brazenness.
and I think about Robin Williams because I was watching that documentary about Robin Williams the other day, and you know he was suffering. He had a lot of mental issues, and he always had these bouts with depression and all these other things. But irregardless, I still think like you decided that I never want to walk on this earth. Honestly, I want to live forever, dude.
Well,
I don't want to die. Like, I want to live forever. In my lowest moment, when I'm like, I hate the world, I hate everybody sucks, I say, but I'll never leave this planet. Never!
Well,
I don't know.
I think Robin Williams, I think the thing that tipped him over the edge was not his mental situation, but what was going on with his physical situation.
Yeah, because he had
all those
dementia
demons running around, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, she has about Parkinson's, you know, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, as one who has witnessed firsthand what Parkinson's can do to a person, somebody who was just like running around like a house of fire, and all of a sudden within 3-4 years, gone, done. You know what? I get it. I get it.
Well, that's why I'm fascinated by it.
I wouldn't do it.
No. I'm fascinated by the human brain. Like, I am obsessed. I've told you this. I am obsessed with the ID channel. Like, obsessed. Like, I can watch the ID channel I can wake up to it, fall asleep to it, murder and everything. I don't even care. Because I am fascinated by the fact that people can go through life and all of a sudden say, I'm going to take somebody else's life. I'm just going to do it. Like, and not have any moral compass. Like, I don't get that. Like, I mean, I feel guilt about everything. I can't do shit. I mean, and even people I hate, like, I'd be like, oh my God, I hate this person so much. I'm not like, okay, if I get a gun and then I load it and then I sneak in, like, my thought process is not, this is my thought process. I want to piss on their desk. Like, that's my process. Like, that's as deep as it gets for me. Like, that's as deep as it gets. Like, oh, I want to spit in their coffee. Like, that's like evil.
That's enough.
That's evil for me.
You said it all.
You know, but how do you get to that point where you're like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go in there with a gun and just kill people.
No.
How do you do that? Like, what happened to your upbringing?
See, there's something else that, you know, I'm not cut out of that jib. I posted something on my page last night late. I dozed off and then I couldn't get to sleep. Long story short, and I mentioned it a little earlier, here I am at this little prep school up in Edison back in the 70s. I had spent kindergarten through sixth grade with all my pals. And then all of a sudden, you know, my mom and dad decided that we know better. And they sent me to this prep school that I had. Oh, it sucked. I hated it. You know, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. They didn't like how, at that time, back in 1976, how the East Brunswick public schools here in New Jersey were teaching junior high and or high school. They just didn't like it. Okay, that's your prerogative. But what ticked me off as a 12-year-old kid who, and it's not bragging if you can back it up, who was a little bit more intelligent than your average dopey 6th or 7th grader, I wasn't even afforded the chance to have a swing at it for 7th and or 8th grade. It was like, nope, you're going. So, you know, there were other kids in the same boat. I hated it. I seethed. I fumed. It was white hot, internal, silent being the operative word, rage. And as time unfolded, time went by, it got better. It took about 2.5 years till I was no longer the new kid. Okay, and I got a little better, and then, you know, I had friends through football and through the school, and my girlfriend was fantastic, you know. So I had you know, good people those last few years, but these other kids, and I didn't even think of this. Here's the whole point. My mind didn't even go here. They would go and destroy the boys' room or bring liquor.
That's horrible.
Well, in a prep school, my God, quick, look, it's somebody. Let's ask them some cultural questions. At a prep school, ripping and tearing and carrying on like that was you're gone, okay? Or bringing liquor from, Dad's liquor cabinet to school and putting it right out for everybody to see and making a big deal out of it. Boom, gone. Don't care how much money you had. I didn't even think of that.
Right.
As a 7th, 8th, 9th grader. I just didn't.
It's
all I knew was I couldn't stand it, and I had to just somehow get through it. These people who decide that they can't stand somebody or something, and they're gonna pop somebody, really?
Fascinating. No, I'm telling you, I studied abnormal psych in college, and I was like, this is the best class I ever had. I wish I was smarter, because I would have stuck to that and been like some sort of psychologist or something. But then I don't think I could live with that. My uncle does that. He helps teens with problems, and I know it's too stressful. It's just too stressful. Then you feel like an obligation, and I can't.
Hats off to him. I couldn't do it either.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
We're gonna, this is a dark note right now. We're gonna lighten it up.
Please.
I think it's time to call Annie.
Everybody's favorite New Jersey mom.
I think it's time to call Annie, because you know what? Annie's waiting for a call. And I think, tell everyone a little bit about Annie while I cue this up.
Annie's a gal who we know who is just everybody. She's the quintessential Jersey mom. She's from Trenton, or Trenton, as she would say. She's married, about 30 years or so?
Forever.
She's got two sons, both of which are grown and out. One of them's a state trooper. He's going to be a detective here shortly. Another one is in the Marines. Mm-hmm. Very proud of her boys.
The most American mom you will ever meet.
It's
American mom. It would be her picture. It would be her picture. Like, I can't even.
Annie, the Jersey American mom, typical Jersey. She's
Let's give her a call. Let's see if she answers the phone.
Is it pork roll or?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
Damn, Maggie.
Annie.
09
Why is she?
5
Damn. I'm mad because she would have been great right now. What's wrong with her?
She'll be back. She's probably cooking dinner.
Yeah, but
and like making meals for everybody for the next 4 or 5 days. So, if not, she might be out back
having a cigarette.
I need her.
Like the winter needs the spring.
Annie.
I know.
Annie.
I tell you what.
Messed on that one.
What are you gonna do? We'll swing. Like I said, this whole program's gonna unfold and evolve time to time.
Did you hear about the new KFC veggie sandwich?
No.
I'm so happy. First of all, let's get this out in the open. The spices on the KFC chicken is what makes the chicken. It's not the chicken.
No.
It's not.
No.
Because you take that skin away, it's just chicken.
It's just chicken.
Doesn't mean nothing. It's that skin. It's that whatever they put in the skin. So this is what they say. They're coming out with a veggie burger with their own Kentucky spices.
Oh.
That's used on the chicken.
Right.
It's going to be on the veggie burger. I want it.
Okay.
Because you know it's good. I don't care what anybody says. You know it's good.
I get it.
You know it's good.
I may try it.
Because most people, you just peel the skin off and you're like, oh, yeah. Who cares about the chicken?
32 herbs and spices. Harlan Sanders, he out of a gas station. Did you know that? Out of a gas to begin with. And
really?
Then,
Colonel Sanders?
Oh, yeah. He was in his...
Was he a colonel?
No, I think that was just his moniker because he was from down south. He was
how they
he was in his
changed
60s.
It used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they took fried out. Now it's KFC.
Well, because of the fried. Everybody's like,
Nobody wanted the fried.
Fried
But guess
bag.
what? Guess what? It's fried.
It's fried. It's fried.
That never changed. It's still fried. It's not baked.
Hey, in the 3 minutes we got left, let's tee up what we're going to be looking ahead these next few weeks.
God!
What are we thinking?
Well, we gotta have Annie on. I'm kind of sad we didn't get Annie on today.
She'll be on. I tell you what,
Annie's crazy.
We'll have some fabricated phone calls. We'll have our friend. We're gonna get a hold of. I think we're gonna go back in history and talk to Abe Lincoln. Is it? Well, we'll figure it out.
Abe Lincoln.
Our friend Carlton Blanchard will be joining us. You'll find out all about him. He's an older gent who's been there and done that. There's Howard from heaven. I've got a direct line. They think he's gone, And he might
He's
not
making a
be.
comeback.
It's
He's making
Howard
a- he's
Cosell.
making a
I got a
comeback.
direct heavenly hotline to Howard Cosell.
He's making a comeback.
Yeah, and it seems every time that there's news from the beyond, somebody important or somebody notable passes away, we'll probably hear from Howard from Heaven and a few of the other folks along the way that may or may not truly exist, but it'll be a fun ride.
Do you know what I need to talk about? I am
ahead.
following on Lifetime or Annie. I am following the cults.
Oh.
Every week they have a new cult, and they do a documentary about that cult, and it's fantastic. They did Children of God yesterday. The Children of God, like River Phoenix and the Phoenixes. They belong to that. The Children of God.
What about the Brass Davidians down in, what was it, in Waco?
That Waco's
You
going
know
to be
what
one
that
of
stood
them.
for, don't you, Waco? What a cookout.
What a cookout. Waco was one of them. It had
the People's Cult of Guyana, Jim Jones.
The Church of Scientology was in
Right.
there. I mean, there's all these different ones. I mean, it was fascinating. And I just finished that Children of... Oh, my God. I have to... that's a whole hour conversation.
Take copious
right there.
notes, and we'll
I'll
have
be
that as
taking-
one of
I'll
our
be taking notes about
one
that.
of our topics.
We'll be following Harvey Weinstein. We'll be following what's going on with the court. I want to follow all the court cases, everything that's going on in the court system.
How about quickly that Bob Menendez, who's a state senator, or senator from New Jersey, who's I think he's going to have a hard time come fall. He just won the primary yesterday on the Democratic side, and Bob Hugan from Hudson County, Soap, is going to give him a run. There's all kinds of political stuff we're talking about, all kinds of entertainment stuff.
You know he died, right?
I know.
What's
That
his name?
stinks.
What was his name? His name was...
Not Richard Mulligan. He's been gone for a few
No,
years.
not Richard Mulligan. The guy who played the dad. That guy.
Oh,
He died.
yeah, on Soap.
What was his name?
Well,
Does anybody know?
we'll get a hold of Howard from Heaven next week, and he'll give us the
Yeah,
poop.
I'll tell
How
you,
about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I should have wrote that down. I'm terrible. He died.
Well, and so it goes.
Wait, we have 30 seconds.
Season 1, Volume 1,
What?
Show number 1 of Real Town
You're number one.
on the
We're
radio
number one.
with John and Tracy.
I know. We have to dig deep.
We're
we have
gonna-
to dig deeper.
You'll be seeing our Facebook page for the program.
Yeah, I'm working
You'll be
on that.
seeing all kinds of things happening online for the program. Get to hamiltonradio.net for the program every Wednesday about 5:30, 25 minutes to 6, and we'll go for about an hour. And tune in to hamiltonradio.net all the time because they've got great shows. They've got great music.
HamiltonRadio.net. It's so fun. Oh my God! Wait a second. Wait a
is it?
second. Wait.
Oh,
Hold on.
Is
hold
this
on.
Annie quickly?
Annie,
Hi.
what are you cooking?
Actually, I didn't cook tonight
Why not?
because both kids are out. Love it. So I said to my husband, what are we doing? We cooked the frozen pizza. That's like sacrilegious.
You're you're slacking, Annie. What are you doing?
It's
Frozen
very,
pizza.
Very un-American.
I did. We had a DiGiorno.
No
It's
delivery.
not takeout. It's not delivery. It's
It's
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno.
Nope, we had a DiGiorno. Yep.
Oh my.
So, do you believe it?
No, we
That's
don't.
crazy.
I thought you were going to be cooking.
Yeah, well, Keith's girlfriend had graduation today for her little kids. So he went out with her, and then Eddie and his girlfriend went out. So, good stuff.
Good stuff. And so what's on the agenda for tonight?
Fox News is on right now.
Of course.
We're getting updated what's going on today.
Any thoughts on what's going on in the world?
Yeah, I have all kinds of thoughts about that. What's going on?
Well, here's where we are, Annie. We're backed up for time here. What we're going to do, I think, next time is we're going to get a hold of you earlier so we can have a whole full dose of New Jersey's favorite mom. How about that?
There you go. Yep, I've got my opinions. You know that, John.
Is that right? I'll be damned.
No, you're
Yes,
not
I do.
opinionated.
I love it.
Yes,
I
I
love-
do. It's all good stuff, though.
That's exactly the whole idea.
You know? The world just thought like me. We'd all be fine.
No more calls. We've got our winner, 609-807-2492. Check us out every Wednesday evening, early evening, late afternoon, Real Town.
6:30.
Yeah, it's Real Town.
Annie, we love you. We're gonna call you next week. All right.
You got it. Not a problem at all.
All right. Go have your DiGiorno pizza.
Okay. You have a great night, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, you got a little
Little taste.
little taste. You wet your beak with our everybody's favorite Jersey mom. She'll be back, and so will we. Real Town with
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
John and Tracy. Yeah.
It's real.
Until next time. And it is real. It's all about the real. We're going to keep it real. We're going to unfold this thing.
And happy birthday, Gene.
Gene, happy birthday, Thank you. That's it. Peace.
Peace out.
We out of here.